Hello again. I remarked yesterday that the government of this country is apparently unable to tell us within a million or two how many foreigners are entering and leaving the country. I mean this quite literally. They claim to have no reliable information at all on this matter. Just a series of vague and, it has to be said sometimes, implausible guesses. This is frankly a little odd with all the computers and so on now used all over the place. I thought it might be instructive to see how this was once handled in Britain, in the days when just a pen and ink were used and calculations were performed in people's heads, not on spreadsheets. In 1911, Winston Churchill was Home Secretary in Britain, and an MP wanted to know how many foreigners had entered and left the country the previous year. The sort of thing many of us would like to ask, for example, about last year, 2020. But it will be years before the government have those figures, and when they do, they will be thoroughly unreliable, obviously. This was all 110 years ago, on February the 8th, 1911. In those days, Churchill was able to say just a month after the end of 1910 exactly what the figures were for immigration the previous year. We're talking of over 500,000 entries that year and roughly the same exits, but it had all been added up by hand and put into a table a few weeks after the end of the year. Here is the exchange. In the description to this video, I provide a link to Hansard, the official record of parliamentary proceedings in Britain, from where I obtained this. People can check it for themselves. Okay, February the 8th, 1911. Mr. Croft asked the Secretary of State for the Home Department how many aliens landed in the United Kingdom during the year 1910. Winston Churchill said, according to the returns received, the number of aliens who entered the United Kingdom in 1910 was 610,776. The number who left the United Kingdom, 597,506, and the difference between the two is 12,270. These figures include, of course, visitors, transmigrants, sailors, and many other persons who are not immigrants. Okay. Isn't that extraordinary? All the ports in Britain had taken down this information with fountain pens and then added up the numbers in their heads and posted it all to London, where it had all been checked and then the figures added together to make that total. And that had all been done within a few weeks of the end of the year. Here is a genuine question. If it was possible 110 years ago to produce accurate immigration statistics for an entire year and have them ready within a few weeks, why is it not possible today with all our computers and email and the internet and all the rest of it? I can think of two possible explanations for this state of affairs. One is that it is easier to work out large numbers using a pen and paper and doing the calculations in your head rather than relying upon electronic calculators or computers. The other possible explanation is that there is a deliberate and sustained attempt to prevent people from knowing how many immigrants are entering the country each year. I will leave it up to viewers to decide for themselves which of these hypotheses seems more plausible.